So any of the boarded up metros, those are infected ones that are best entered at night. However, if you're looking for some easy infected volatile kills, entering through the day is totally acceptable. Many of the metros require you to restart the backup generators, but a few of them do not require that. The generator areas are pretty much the same for all of the metros. And there's a few ways to the other side, because you can consider it split in half. There's an underwater path, a underground path, and you can generally go over. Over being the fastest but most difficult way. Then, of course, you have to flip. I don't know why they make you flip that and then go back to the earlier part. I guess it's maybe more electrically sound, I don't know, but this doesn't really add anything to the gameplay. It's not like your character also rebuilt the metro station either. No, for every single backup generator section you have to restart, you have to wait for the elevator down and back up. Similarly, there is the tallest building in the game, and you have to wait for the elevator to go down and all the way back up should you decide to use that for a parachuting excursion. There's one more thing that we can do in the Wharf. There's a couple quests, but we don't yet have access to them. But we'll go and do this combat challenge. The Dream Factory. Kill as many infected as you can within the time limit. So, yeah, you're supposed to use traps, and that's fine if you do. The car trap is probably the best one, but you only get to use that once. And we'll go ahead and use up the traps as the game intends, but that's not how I would personally suggest you win this. What I would suggest you do is get used to doing this attack. Find anything you can use to get height, whether it's other zombies or what. It's really simple to use this car, if nothing else. Doesn't need to be a lot of height, but I find this is the most reliable way to get 100 kills. So now we have completed these. Let's go head on over to the water tower. With the paraglider, we can just enter the water tower at the top, but we will go ahead and start from the bottom to show you what the water tower would look like if you were playing it normally. You first must climb over this wall, then enter an infected bottom floor. It's really nothing big. Now this is a deployable ladder, so we will pretend those don't exist on our climb through. Waiting for all the pop-ups to disappear before we continue. This area does have one exclusive survivor quest as well as one exclusive peacekeeper quest. We will go ahead and do the metro first, and then I'll show you both quests. And although it's further for me, for you, there's just a transitional cut. As we approach, you can see that this is not one of the boarded up metros, which means that this can be entered during the daytime. You'll encounter the same opponents, which will be bandits.
Can you believe that? I think we got a bogey. Oh, right here, guys. We got me some ass. What happened? You can get over that over here. Thank you.
Made it without killing anybody. We're going to flip over to the Survivor playthrough for a minute. And we will first do the Survivor variant of the exclusive quest in the Muddy Grounds. It's a talkie quest where you talk to a guy named Silencio.
Crazy as a spitter, or a scarecrow in glitter. Silencio's got rhymes for these fucked up times.
Wait, you're Silencio?
Yeah, you familiar with my art?
Oh, not really, but I have seen Silencio posters around town. And you look, you look younger than the pictures.
Well, maybe it's my use of boulder or tissue mask, or some other shit, depends on who asks. If youth is a crime, it's cause I laid them fresh rhymes. Fresher than Frank and his team in the shitty canteen.
I have no way of picking up what you're laying down. The virus must have really cramped your style.
Cramped, but not necrotic. I'm better than ever.
How's that?
Just listen, man. Throw me a word, and I'll freestyle for you.
Goat.
Goat? Are you fucking serious? That's whack.
How about, the Peacekeepers?
Tough one. They got no style, they got no rhythm. And all they want is for us to join with them. Acting peaceful when for fights they're keen. Just like the lushes in Frankie's canteen. Dope, right? Lay another one on me.
Okay, volatile.
Fast and furious, I can see that you're curious. Who's scared of them most? Acts like he's seen a ghost. Wanna scare Frank, play a volatile prank. Of all my rhymes, that was not the most fine. Hit me with another word.
Well, I'm sensing that you're not a big fan of Frank.
Really? Why'd you say that? Just an easy rhyme to make, man.
Not really. You came up with some excruciating rhymes just to diss Frank.
Excruciating. You disrespecting me? The one and only Silencio?
You're not Silencio. With rhymes like those, it's clear you just pose. My guess is you're just some wannabe that Frank won't let perform at the canteen.
Yeah, but only because I'm underage, not because I suck.
That's why I decided to show you the Survivors first. Let's hop on over and check out the Peacekeepers verse.
Unfortunately, you do suck. On my advice, give it up and make yourself useful. You know, grow some crops, carry water for old people.
You talk like my own man, and I ain't listening to you either. Meantime, check this out. A ticket to my last gig, fool. Told you I was the one and only Silencio. Ha!
And with that, he gives you the Silencio memento item. So if you instead picked up the Peacekeepers...
Come on, Boone. We found this wicked spot. Fish practically jump into your boat.
Afraid to get a little seasick, Boone?
If you want me on your boat, make sure you're wearing thigh waders.
A seasick peacekeeper? Your central command is based on a friggin' ship. You've never been on that?
The Missy, it was my home once, but no longer. Just the sight of it makes me queasy.
So you lived on the Missy. Boone, what's the story with this ship?
Well, you see, I was surfing on the Missy when it arrived. Come to resupply the army after the city got walled off. No other way to enter Willador than by going up the river at that point. But then, boom! So much shit went down, so fast, you think you're at a pop-up outhouse convention. Not just in the city, but the rioters stormed the ship. Caught us completely off guard. We were under siege on our own ship, nowhere to go. But we weren't gonna let them get their grubby paws on our supplies. No, sir. So we started dumping them overboard.
But you dumped everything overboard?
Everything. Food, medicine, even weapons and ammo. No way we wanted those to get in the hands of those anarchists. Of course, in the end, that meant no guns for Pratt's army either. Worse still, no ammo and no way to produce more. Rioters had damaged Missy, and at that point, she was dead in the water. Literally. Luckily, I survived, thanks to my special talents.
Special talents? What were you? A demolitions expert? Sniper? Or are you some sort of living weapon?
I am far more than that, as you will soon find out.
Sounds intense. Must not have been easy to drive the butcher and his men away.
No, it was quite the pitched battle. And I'm proud to say, I played a key role in ensuring our troops' victory. But when it was all over, despite my devotion, I'd had enough of life on a tin can. I needed solid ground to be away from a persistent source of chaos. And from that day forward, I have been unable to step foot on any sort of seafaring vessel.
That's quite a story. You still haven't told me why the rioters didn't string you up, or what this key role was. Are you a strategist, a gunner, a navigator?
I was the cook.
Where's the cook?
Son, bullets may fill guns, steam a ship's engine, but I fill men's bellies, which allows them to carry on toward any goal. As for the rioters, they took one look at my greasy whites and passed me by. No one shoots the cook.
Doing Missy instead of Silencio, you get an old army cookbook. If you want the Silencio poster, you just have to walk over here and you can pick it up off the bookshelf. So you'll get more for sighting peacekeepers. Alright, so next up we're going to hit the Garrison Electrical Station. This is the Garrison Electrical Station. Normally you would end up here as part of the story quest. If you have already claimed it before then, it's not part of the story quest anymore. If you do it during the story quest, you will also get ambushed. Not that it's a particularly devastating ambush or anything. This is safe code 314. Inside is an inhibitor. Cable number 2 goes to the bottom, which does electrify the floor in here. While you are expected to jump from crate to crate, stuff like that, we're just going to hop through the water. And finally, we need cable 1C. As part of dividing 4 territories to the Peacekeepers, I now unlock the crossbow and its associated ammo. Let's take a look where we're at. We were here at the power plant. We are now going to take out the Garrison Heights bandit camp, then clear out the metro, and then we'll start sweeping through and taking on the quests. Oh wait, this is an elevator that actually works. Forget about these. I mean, I don't need to be stealthy, but I was hoping that... Where is the windmill here?
See that? What is it?
There it is.
Where the hell did you come from?
Darn it, I gotta wait for this thing. Hate these things in the windmills. It's like elevators, except now part of the puzzle. Again, this actually just makes the job harder, but oh well. I mean, at least we got a few zombies here. Who knows, they might continuously spawn, as I triggered it during the nighttime phase. Probably not. Alright, so I need to find 2 lieutenants. Are you one? Yes, he is. Are you one? Yes, he is. Now I just need to find the boss.
You see that? You can't just...
Not very distracting, is it? I don't know if I killed the bandit leader or if one of the zombies did, but either way works. I was trying to descend, but the winds kept pulling me up, so I just let go of the parachute.
Can you believe that? Why? Good.
Come on. Go away, guys. Almost cool. Alright, to begin with, we will start with an Exemplary Grandson. I believe this mission can expire as the course of the game continues. So then we'll sweep our way in this direction. Now, a couple of the missions will lead us over here. We'll still do them one at a time for recording purposes. For me, it'll be backtracking, but through the magic of editing, you won't have to see any of it. There is one Survivor exclusive quest, but I can't actually finish it right now, so we'll have to wait until later before recording it.
Henny! Over here, now! You can't just run off like that, Henny. Granny's not as spry as she once was.
Henny, I'm not...
Aren't you cold, darling? You never knew how to dress appropriately. I remember back in preschool how you would put your undies on your head.
I'm sorry, but I think you're mistaking me for somebody.
It's about time you made it back here, Henny. I'm feeling a bit out of sorts today. Why am I even standing here? Aha! Did you get... Do you have those, Help me out here, Henny.
Look, I'm sorry, I'm Aiden. Aiden. And I really have to get going.
Pills. That's it. You were supposed to bring me my pills. Ran out this morning. And my mind's all sort of foggy.
I'd like to help, but Okay, let's see. Where do you usually keep these pills, ma'am?
No matter, Henny. You were supposed to refill my script at the pharmacy.
Pharmacies aren't really open for business these days.
God, I've forgotten everything. Ah, I know. This group of nice boys came this morning for coffee. No, it was for tea. And they made me... I lent them my last bottle. They had such funny masks on their faces.
You were robbed by renegades?
Ah, yes. That might be what they called themselves. But they were nice boys.
All right, don't worry, Grandma. I'll ask those boys to give it back. Where did they go after that?
Somewhere over there. To those abandoned apartments behind me, I guess. Darling, don't you boys get up to too much mischief together. I'll be waiting with a hot cup of tea by the windmill south of the VNC Tower.
So they are here. Grandma might be confused, but her memory's just fine for some things. I hope these pills help her. Here you go, ma'am. I mean, Grandma, I got your pills.
Took your sweet time, Jerry. Had to grab a pint with your mates after work again, is that it? You could have let me know before we got married. The day were your true loves. Well, here's your tea. See what kind of wife you have?
No, I'm not your husband, remember? I'm your grandson? Shit, now I'm confused. Take these, please. They should help.
That's so sweet you brought them, Aiden.
Wait. So, you remember my name? You know who I am?
Oh, my. Oh, all right. I might have exaggerated my memory problems a little bit. One can get used to this epidemic, even to the infected. But to loneliness? Never. What's the point of surviving if I have no one to share my life with? And you. Do you have a grandmother still alive? Do you drop by for tea with her?
Never had a grandma.
Truly? Then you do not even know what you are missing. I know so many stories. Would you like to listen?
I'd love to.
Drop by whenever you feel like it, and I'll be glad to tell you. People bring hurt on themselves when they ask too much from life. Life is so very much, well, lively.
I'd love to hear your story now.
I am Bosnian. I survived the siege of Sarajevo by the Yugoslav army during the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It started in '92 and lasted 4 years. The longest and bloodiest siege in the history of Europe after World War II. My mother and I were hiding in the basement. Very tight, very uncomfortable. It was hard to sleep. One day, a boy showed up. He was maybe 7 years old. His name was Daniel. His parents had been killed by mortar shells. Higher up, you could sneak away from snipers, avoiding unprotected streets. But you could never predict where the missiles would fall. It was only a matter of time before Daniel would die. He came by every day, but my mother never suggested that he stay the night. We lacked food, and a third person would have made it impossible to sleep. One day, Daniel sat with us, and I could see how troubled he was. He had big brown eyes. "Can I stay with you?" Mother changed the subject. In the following days, she did that 3 more times, until finally, she let him stay.
Why'd she change her mind?
I asked her the same question. She said, I had to remind myself what it meant to be human. I have remembered that my whole life. When the virus broke out, I sheltered dozens of immigrants. People think of themselves to survive. But they won't survive if they think only of themselves.
Wow. I never thought about it like that. I'm glad I met you.
Alright, let's head to the next quest. before we kick off Power to the People, which will be a nighttime quest, we would go to Closure, which will require it to be night. Before we do Closure, however, let's go and do Deep Cover, and then we would do History Quiz as well as Crystal White. Not necessarily in that order. There's kind of a plan to how I want to record these things.
He's too smart for that. We gotta go after her.
What? You got a death wish, Dan? That's suicide.
Hey, everything okay?
What's it to you, huh? Ain't none of your business.
Ollie, cool your jets. Don't you know who this is? It's that Pilgrim guy, Aiden. Well, since you asked, one of her own, Kareen, is undercover at the nearby renegade camp.
A spy?
Right. Volunteered to walk into the lion's den. Been given regular reports, and then nothing.
Not a peep for days now. It ain't like her. They caught her for sure.
Yeah, thanks for the expert analysis, Mr. Doom and Gloom.
Someone needs to get in there and find her.
What's she doing in there anyway?
Just finding out whatever she can.
Those renegade scum are going down. And she's been feeding us info that'll make them go down even harder.
That's totally not even necessary. There is no port in the land. Just go in there and kill off the renegades.
Has she hinted she might be in trouble?
Not really. I mean, her reports were coming farther and fewer between, but that's it.
Yeah, less useful too. Figured she was just about to pinch it off and come home when poof, nothing.
Why don't you go in after her?
No can do. Those renegades would sniff us out in a second, and we'd be toast.
Yeah, those are fucking renegades, man. Just 'cause I'm a guy doesn't mean they wouldn't rape me or something.
Yeah, I see your problem.
Jeez, Ollie, you got serious problems.
I'll go check in on her.
Oh, man, that'd really help us out. Look, I got these papers that'll get you into the camp.
Better him than me.
See what I got to put up with?
Just give me the papers.
I'll be honest with you, I did a quick job forging these. Anyone taking a third look could figure it out. Which means you gotta work fast once you're in. You okay with that?
I'm good.
Awesome. Now, check it. The Renegade's camp is tucked between the office towers.
Okay, how am I supposed to recognize her?
Well, ain't a lot of women in these places. But she's gotta know you're on our side. Use the code word phrase, "Have you milked the goats?" And she'll respond, "Goat milk is too sour for my taste." And you'll know it's Kareen.
Goat milk is too... What? What kind of code phrase is that?
Pretty awesome, right?
I came up with that, man. That was all me. 100%.
Okay, whatever.
So from here, we will have to go down southwest and find Kareen. Renegades will never suspect I'm working for the Peacekeepers. Now, normally I would do a transition where I jump straight to the quest objective, but I wanted to kind of show how ridiculous this is. So this is the new Peacekeeper base. We just built it. I don't know how much time progresses to create this base, but in player terms, we just captured the power plant and assigned it. So this whole thing right here, this Peacekeeper base. All right, the building we're heading to, the Garrison Sports Hall straight ahead, that is our Renegade destination.
Back from patrol. Can I get in?
Huh? Let's see your papers. You look familiar. Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
Maybe. But I get that all the time.
Yeah, you got that familiar kind of face. Welcome home.
Thanks, bro.
After you're done, let's go grab a beer or 5. I wanna get shake-faced. Anything to forget where we are. These remote postings suck. Tell me about it. The stronghold is downright cozy compared to these crabby outposts. At least I got a bed there. Hey, sleeping on the floor. The floor? Spring for a fucking cot already and stop whining. Hey, buddy. Don't I know you from somewhere?
Maybe. I've been around.
Oh, I know. You went up against the PK when they came creeping around the stronghold.
Maybe. Could have been anyone. It's everyone's duty to keep the PK out of our business, isn't it?
Too right, my friend. Too right.
Fuck yeah. Now excuse me. Got me a lady in waiting, if you know what I mean.
You dog. You dog! Oh, don't let us keep you, man! I could eat a horse.
I do not want to get stuck here for the night with these assholes. He's got 1 minute, and I'm out of here.
Have you milked the goats?
Goats? What the fuck are you talking about?
Sorry, my mistake.
This is where your objective is, but you can't access it until you've asked the second chick about the goats.
Hey, can you settle a bet for us?
I don't have a lot of time.
Just take a second. Boxers or briefs?
Nah, free ball, all the way.
See? Told you. Who wears skivvies these days? I'll admit it. You were right.
Glad I could help. I gotta...
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you?
In a hurry, yeah. Catch you guys later.
You'd think there'd be more eye candy around here.
Have you milked the goats?
Don't know about goats, handsome, but if you're looking...
Yeah, never mind.
Aiden, it's Dan.
This isn't a good time.
Sorry, but I gotta warn you. The guards took a third look and figured out the papers were forged.
Fuck.
Exactly. So the clock's ticking. You gotta find Kareen and get the hell out of there. They'll be tearing the place apart any minute now.
Yeah, roger that.
You didn't hear anything, lady. Alright, so you have to talk to both chicks in order to have this door open up. If you do end up running out of time, the renegades fight you and you have to pick up clues from this room. Here's one of the clues. Here's the other clue. It basically says that she has fallen in love with one of the renegades. Let's go ahead and talk to her.
Sorry, ass.
Have you milked the goats?
Goat milk is too sour for my tastes. The PK sent you?
Yes. Are you in danger?
Only from the PKs.
What do you mean?
I've met someone. His name is Alphonse.
A renegade.
A man. Renegade, yes. But that's just a label like peacekeeper. Tell the PK I was discovered and executed. Otherwise, they'll come after me. They won't stop. I'll lose Alphonse. I'll lose everything.
Aiden, stand here. Any luck?
Yeah, I found her.
If you lie to the PK, the renegades stay peaceable to you, though if you walk back in the base, they will attack you. If you tell the truth, the renegades become hostile to you. Whichever you pick, this does not become a safe house. Zombies will infest it the next time you return. However, like we did with Jack and Joe, we are going to allow these named characters to survive just because we want more content in our game.
Her grave, I mean.
What? They killed Kareen?
Afraid so.
Well, fuck me. Wait till higher ups hear about this.
Told you she was dead meat, man.
Thanks, Aiden. Guess there's nothing we can do about it.
Sorry I didn't have better news. Aiden out.
Thank you. You saved my life.
I guess it's not all about labels and uniforms.
It's not enough, I know. But please take this, with my deepest gratitude.
Thanks, but I won't make it out of here alive to spend it. They must be searching for me by now.
There is a door behind you. You can escape unnoticed.
Thanks. Good luck.
Alright, let's take a look and see where we're heading next.
Flash, did you mess with it?
Thebane, the pavarine. Isolate the morphine, subject it to acetylation.
Is something wrong?
No, nothing. Talking to myself, that's all.
I mean, I can see something's the matter, but okay.
It's just, there's nothing that can be done. There are too many of them.
Too many who?
Renegades, degenerates. 6 months ago, they kidnapped my son, Rook, and they forced me to produce drugs for them. I was the chemistry teacher in school before the epidemic. I held one of them back, grade.
But what about your son?
They're holding him hostage. If I'm late with the next batch of drugs, they'll kill him.
Maybe what these bandits need is a lesson.
But there's a whole band of them.
I've faced far worse odds than that. I'm not a fan of kidnapping.
Will you help me?
Yeah, I'll try. Where are they keeping Rook?
In a military building, overlooking the canal south of Muddy Grounds, near Culvert Island. The entrance is on St. Paul Boulevard, past the wrecked car carrier. Just be careful. I went there myself once, trying to free my boy. They caught me. Then later brought me one of Rook's fingers. As long as these bastards are alive, they'll never leave us alone.
I'll be careful.
I'll follow you. Wait outside for you to come out. What's your name?
Aiden.
Thank you, Aiden.
He says he'll wait, but he'll actually just barge in.
I haven't slept a wink for 6 months. What are they doing with this?
Where the lights? Anybody else? What's happening? What's going on?
Are you all right?
I'm, yeah.
They injected that shit into you.
Who are you?
Aiden, your father sent me.
Father. Dad.
You're out of danger. I'll take you to him.
No,
What?
I don't need you, Dad. Or anybody else. I'm doing fine here. Give me a needle.
Hey, wait. You've got all your fingers. The bandits didn't cut one off. So it was all fake?
Leave me alone.
There was no kidnapping, was there? You've been tricking your own father into making you free drugs?
Get out of here.
How could you do that to your father?
Didn't want this, okay? It's stronger than me.
And now what do you want? You'd rather stay here like this than be with your father?
Rook! Son! My boy!
Finally, I've got you back. What is it, boy? Are you all right?
Look, there was never any kidnapping.
What?
It was all a show, including that severed finger.
But how could that be? Rook, say that's not true.
I tried to kick it. I tried. I didn't want to keep taking. But I started getting high with them. When I mentioned you, they realized you were their former teacher and a chemist.
God, Rook.
I wanted to stop, to end it. But they wouldn't let me. I'm sorry.
Come back home with me. We'll talk there.
Really? After all I did?
You'll always be my son. Thank you.
I don't know how Pierre got here. Because the door above is locked. Let me make sure this door is... I don't know if the door will remain open but in the future, but yeah, this door here is locked from the inside, which is... If I were to close it, I wouldn't be able to open it from out here. We'll do history quiz, then we'll bounce off and start closure. Do that, and then return and do this combat challenge. I think that's the best way to record this.
Can't let darkness and ignorance reign. Ignorance leads to repeating the same mistakes over and over again. The definition of insanity. And I don't need no mohawk to know that.
Wait, what are you ranting about, mister?
Ranting? Son, I'm trying to safeguard our collective memory. I'm only trying to preserve history.
Seems like a big task. Can one man even do that?
I certainly can. Why, for 30 years I was a tour guide here. After the fall, I founded the Villador Historical Conservation Society.
Doesn't seem to be much to conserve around here anymore.
Thank the renegades for that. Still, more than ever, we must remember our past. We must preserve it. Otherwise, we'll slip back into dark ages for good. We can't build a future for humankind if we don't know our history. What do you say I ask you 2 or 3 questions about that? See if you've been paying attention. See how much history you know.
All right, we will do that, but I just want to point out that it's so stupid that the GRE brought about the zombie apocalypse. Everybody found out about it, and then they brought about the zombie apocalypse again. I understand that the Umbrella Corporation and the Resident Evil series did the same thing, but at least if that was said to be clandestine, everybody knows about the GRE in this world.
Sure, why not?
Good. Let's start with one of the defining moments of our recent history. A tragic event that had such an impact, it still defines how the city looks today. Here goes. What occurred here that is known as Black Monday?
Alright, well, you have some various options here, and if you get that wrong, I think you have to have your character sleep for a day before you can take the quiz again.
That would be the chemical strikes on the city 11 years ago.
Correct. On January 6th, 2025, at 0800 hours, the Butcher, Colonel Williams, decided to use a newly discovered chemical compound, the THV Gen Mod, to eradicate the virus. Hope of reclaiming control of the city turned to tragedy. Millions of residents were killed. It also caused terrifying mutations of the infected, turning them into what we now call specials. The chemicals are still potent to this day. Don't go near them. Let's discuss the March Massacre. You recall what happened on that day?
The army killed 64 civilians protesting against weapons confiscation.
You actually have been paying attention. This is correct. This shooting triggered the escalation of riots in the city, which finally led to the fall of General Pratt and Colonel Williams taking over. The army confiscated all the guns and ammo. It all started there, south of Houndfield, by the monument of the World Art Congress. The last question. Let's go for a moment out of Villador and take a global perspective. Before mutating to become tachytransmissive, THV was simply known as Haran virus. Haran is where it all started. But do you remember when the Haran events happened?
In early spring, 2014.
Bravo! I'm impressed, young man. Indeed, the virus emerged during Haran's Global Athletic Games in 2014 and went dormant after the city was quarantined. It was subsequently turned into an exclusion zone by the GRE. I remember those would-be games. I even took a week off to watch them. My country had many medal prospects. No one expected it would become hell on Earth. The virus resurfaced 7 years later in a mutated form, THV, after escaping from a Level 4 laboratory in Geneva. But that's the part everyone knows and never talks about, since it's what caused the fall. I commend you on your knowledge, young man. Never stop seeking more. And never forget, we're always just a few burning history books away from darkness. Here's a small token of my appreciation. Should teach you a bit about one of my favorite parts of the city, the catacombs.
Down in the street.
Alright, let's take a look at our map. We need to start closure during the daytime, but we can only complete the quest at night. So let's do an about face and start that quest.
Wish my baby was here.
I can't go alone.
What happened?
I'm a pauper, brought low by my own family.
Who?
Yes, my own flesh and blood have brought me to this dreadful state. My own kith and kin. How can they be so unreasoning? So beguiled by phantasms? Woe betide them, woe.
Are you gonna tell me what's going on?
My papa, my dear papa, departed this vale of tears a month ago. And his siblings, my loathsome aunts and uncles, I spit at them, went mad with grief. They travelled dark paths and found an infected with the power to raise the dead. Ever since, they've been offering valuables to the creature, beseeching it to bring back my dear departed papa.
In normal times, it would be a tempting offer, but we've seen what happens when people come back from the dead here.
They really believe that?
Yes! They think their offerings will make the foul beast grandpapa a new life.
Seems people need something to believe in, whatever it may be. And what does this have to do with your poverty?
It is all papa's valuables they've taken to use as their offerings. When I tried to stop them, they threw me out of the house. I'll have nothing left. Only memories of papa and a gaping hole in my heart. I'd go to that altar myself, retrieve his belongings, but I'm a frail man. But you seem like a stout fellow. Perhaps you'd go there and retrieve his treasures for me.
Well, if it means so much to you, I can try.
Ah, lion-hearted. I will reward you 100-fold. They make offerings in the evenings, so you have to go there under the cover of night. You'll find his belongings in willow-lined chests. You can wait here for the sun to descend from the sky. I'll be waiting for you in my crib on Lower Dam Air, on the Garrison. The entrance is near the old hotel, by the canal. Farewell.
Farewell.
Now, beast will learn the final.
I have everything.
Serves you right, you bastard! You almost got my brother killed.
I didn't mean for him to get hurt.
But he did, because of you. Stop conning others to run your dangerous errands. If I so much as get a whiff you pull this on anyone else, I'm turning you in.
Hey!
Who are you? Another one of this fool's errand boys? Whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm getting out of here.
What's going on here? What was he talking about?
You see, before the fall, I was an actor. Not even a good one. Bereft of a stage, I took my craft to the streets and became a con artist. But not a very good one of those either, as I'm still quite poor.
Everything you said about your father, your family?
Yeah, it was a lie. I had to convince you to retrieve those valuables for me. The legend of the creature is real. Well, as real as the bandits who invented it to trick people into offering up their valuables. They come by later and collect them. I didn't dare go there myself and risk them catching me. So I figured I'd have someone else go. I'm a greedy, lazy bastard. What do you want from me?
Well, at least you're honest about one thing.
I try. Sometimes. Like now. You survived the ordeal. Keep the spoils for your trouble. As for me, the curtain's going down. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep, to say we end the heartache. And? Well?
Well, if you had a day job, I say not to quit it.
I don't know if it matters, but let's go and unlock this door. Alright, final thing. This is the PK exclusive mission, Power to the People. To have the most accuracy aiming at the electric fence, aim above it like where you would walk or target, in fact walking over it. Don't aim at the lights. Your hammer doesn't really do that much damage. If you aren't using the electric fence, it'll take you something like 20 hits to kill a single zombie. Run around in circles and use these as best you can. Otherwise, you can also just use the charge attack and kill whole hordes with them, which is also fun in its own way.